Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dear Diary podcast with your hosts, Val and Lynx. Dear Diary.
Okay, so you know how I started the lab last week? Or
Yes.
yes, I've started lab last week. Literally only been like a week of lab and it feels like it's been months. But um I don't remember if it was like it might have been Friday or it might have even been earlier this week. I was going to lab and for some reason, like since I started lab, so I started lab like roughly last Wednesday, it's been like raining every time I leave, which is stressful for many conditions for many reasons because this was like the first time I've been on the highway alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's normally like I've like driven on the highway before, right? So there's like two highways that take us to downtown. It's highway, let's use A and B, okay? So my dad, every time I've been to like on the highway, is like, take highway like B. And I'm like, okay, but that's really stressful highway because there's like 700 lanes and everyone's going like 400 miles per hour and I have to merge in like these really awkward like areas. But then I was like, let me try taking Highway A, and Highway A is so much easier. So it's like I
But
can
is
cruise by
is B
on it.
faster? I think B is
B
faster
is
for you.
faster. It
Okay.
is. Um, but that's only because everyone goes so much faster. Because
Okay.
Highway A is actually a mile shorter, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was talking to my dad about this. He was like, it takes you longer, but like distance wise, it's actually shorter. But it doesn't take me that long because I'm like zooming
Okay.
by the time I come home.
Yeah.
But
On the
um
way back, it's a fast ride, I will say, all the
on
time.
the way back, it's when I had to be back, when I left around 6 o'clock, that one day
Mm-hmm.
I had lab, um, I like even if I waited, so I pretty much like left lab, got into the car and just like left. If I stayed and like waited like maybe 10 minutes, there would have been even less people because like
Yeah.
no one's really driving back like that late. And I
Right.
was that was the day my dad was like, you were averaging like or and I was
Yeah.
like, it's whatever. There was no one there. It's
Right.
maybe I shouldn't have been. I mean, I wasn't like I try not to go 15 over like anywhere, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't 15 over, but I was going pretty fast.
Yeah.
And it was also I find it really fun when like I drive on the right lane because the exit, like I have to take the exit.
Yeah.
And like the exit isn't until like further down, but I don't going back and forth. Now I'll just
Right.
stick in the
Yeah.
right lane. And I remember like I was getting onto I was like on the highway and the car in front of me was also in the right lane. We were
Yeah.
both going and this car was like going like above the speed limit, but it was like the left
Right.
lane's always faster.
Right.
So I kind of just went left lane, right lane, and then floored it. Just because they
Just
were going
zoomed.
so slow.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had a point to this. Oh, yes. So one of the days I had to go to lab, like it was like pouring, like it's been really rainy. And I've been struggling on connecting my phone to the Bluetooth for some reason. I don't understand why
Yeah.
it's so hard. But so I haven't figured, I mean, I figured out like a day ago how to do it properly. So I have like my phone pulled up and I'm also playing music from it. And my music is all the way turned up. Um, right. So I like to like turn my music all the way up because it makes the car feel less empty. Like if you're
Mhm.
playing it through the speakers, then it's fine because like the speakers are kind of all
So
around
your Bluetooth
in the
doesn't work,
front.
so it's just playing like,
Okay, now let me tell you how the Bluetooth works. You
okay.
can connect the phone to the Bluetooth, right? But when I connect the phone to the Bluetooth, it shows like my carrier and it shows like the carrier and it shows like phone book. Like you know how like if you want to make a call off your car, then you can like call.
Right, yeah.
So that's what shows up. But if I want to play music, I couldn't figure that out. Turns out you had to click the aux button 4 times.
What? What? Four times?
Yes, because you click aux and then you click it again and it goes to iPod. And then you click it again and it goes to USB. And then you click it again and it goes to Bluetooth. And that's how like I can see my phone playing. And then the music works. I don't really know. But
Okay, we both have the same type of car, and I know what you're talking about. So I'm kind of like, why did it take you this long to figure it out? Because it wasn't that big of. So
No, because my phone would be connected to the Bluetooth.
yeah, and you could
Like
hear
I could,
it.
no,
Oh, you couldn't hear it.
no, my phone was connected and I could make calls. But if I wanted to play anything off Spotify, nothing would play. And that's because I had to go into like click the aux button 4 times for some reason.
That's weird if you could hear the phone call but couldn't hear music. Cause like, I don't know.
Anyways, this was one of the
Okay,
days I didn't
yeah.
know this, right? So I'm blasting music from my phone and it's pouring
Mhm.
and I am like about to merge onto the highway, okay?
Yeah.
And I've got maps going on.
Yeah.
And normally, like, this is fine. Like, I've gotten used to it. It's really not that big
Right.
a deal. You just, like, whatever. But the song I was listening to, are you familiar with Celebrate the Reckless?
Oh yeah, I do. I
Okay,
am
yes.
familiar with it.
Do you remember how the chorus goes?
No, I don't really remember. I can't think of the
Okay.
song.
Well, the chorus is like, I don't know if it's this and I just fixed it. Like, I was just focused on it.
Yeah.
But it's very, like, drums and cymbal heavy when it comes to the instrumentals.
Yeah.
It's, like, I really heard the cymbals. And for some reason, it was so distracting. And so here I am going kind of fast, trying to merge onto the
Yeah.
highway. I can't really see anything because it's pouring.
Right.
The Google Maps is running, and I'm just hearing these clashing.
Right. Oh
And
yeah.
I was like,
Not the
something
best.
needs to stop
Yeah.
because it was like, I've never been like this, like, not, I don't think it's like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like overstimulated or anything. It was just a lot. And
I'm sure, yeah.
I got onto the highway and like I was still merging and like the first couple like I don't know, use the highway for like what 6 miles, maybe like the first 2 miles, it was like
Mhm.
I don't I only feel comfortable like using my phone when I know that there's like people, it's like steady traffic or steady like movement
Mhm.
and like I know that there's not going to be like unexpected stops or whatever.
Yeah,
But since
right.
it's like pouring and it's the right lane and left lane are like kind of slow, everyone's braking and going and braking and
Yeah.
going. So I didn't want to pick up my phone
Right.
because I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let's just the song play out. And
Why don't
then
you just turn it down?
it was on my phone. I couldn't turn
Right.
it down on
Yeah. Oh
my
my gosh, I keep
car,
forgetting this.
right?
Okay,
So I
yeah.
had to reach over to like turn it off. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's kind of far. I want to focus on like the traffic in front of me
Yeah.
first. And then you know what played next? A 21 Pilot song. But it was a very loud and clashy song. And by then the traffic was kind of easing up and I just skipped out. I was like, I can't deal with this right now.
Makes sense. I need to stop picking up random phone calls. Like I
Why?
have a habit of doing it because there's been multiple times when it was someone that like from like my band and stuff for
Mm-hmm.
church, like they'll like I don't have all of their numbers and so they have all my information and so they'll call me and
Yeah.
ask like, can you come in or something? And so there's been multiple times where that's happened. So like out of habit, I'll pick up like phone calls. But like now that I'm picking them up, I think I'm getting obvious. I think you get more if you pick them up. So I'm definitely like
Does
I've
it really
noticed that
work
I've
like
been
that? I
getting.
don't
I
know.
don't know. Like my mom is saying that she's like, don't pick it up. Like you're just gonna get more of those calls because then they'll register your number or something. And I was like, I don't know if it really works like that. But in my head, I pretended that it works like that because now I feel like I'm getting more calls. Like I got a call from Jamaica yesterday.
Ooh, fancy, fancy.
I didn't pick up because it was Jamaica, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, does it get charged extra when it's like further for distance? I didn't know how it worked, and so I was like, let me just.
I think I normally pick up, that's a lie. If it's, you know how like sometimes you'll get numbers that like not the same, like you'll have the same
Yeah,
area
like
code
the
and the
first
same
like three
first three. I don't
digits.
pick those up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I usually don't pick those up, and it's like a little bit more different. Then I'll pick it up.
Have you ever
It's
gotten phone
always
calls that are like from numbers that just don't look like phone numbers? They're just letters.
yes. Well, I don't know if they're all letters, but get ones that are like there'll be
Yeah.
a
And then
V,
a bunch of
a
numbers.
bunch of numbers, and like a lot of numbers. Like it looks like 13, 14 digits, and I'm like,
This is
it's
not
just
a weird
weird.
number.
I'm like, is this like a number? Like, I just don't understand like why they can call me. Because if it's not a real number, I mean, I don't know how it works actually. In my
Don't know how
head, it
scanning
just
works.
yeah.
Sounds like a good thing. I remember when like Star 67 was like such a big thing in middle school.
Yes, I did. I'm really bad at prank calling. I will say this
Yeah.
because I laugh I will laugh before I start. It's the same thing with me scaring people. Like when if I'll see someone, I want to run up to them and like scare them a little bit. I'll be like 2 steps away from them and I will already be dying of laughter because in my head I imagine what their reaction would be like right before. And I'm laughing at how funny it would be if I like pulled it off and then I
Yeah.
ruin it by laughing because then they turn around and see me. And it happens so often. But like I did like a prank call and I was like pretending to like be some restaurant. The person knew who was right away because I guess I'm not very good. But I like did it and I was like, oh yeah, like were you there when I did this? But I think one of my friends was there and we were like calling and I was like, yeah, like this is the restaurant, like what do you want to order or something? And I put on some weird voice and then I just lost it in the middle of it and it just didn't happen. And I just hung up because I was like, no, they're gonna know who it is and I just hung up. And then I tried calling back. It was just a hot mess, I'll just say that.
I remember I've gotten prank calls from like they're not necessarily like I'm friendly with them, but it's like um not people I'm necessarily like the closest with, but that's like their
Yeah,
nature to like joke around and stuff. And I
right.
remember like a prank call them they like but the thing is it's not like a no caller ID thing. It's like they use one of their friends' numbers that they know for sure I don't have. So it's a
Oh,
number.
yeah.
So I pick up and then they're like, what do they say? They're like they put on like some kind of accent and they're like, do you want like food from here or something? And I'm like, what? But then like the dead giveaway is like
Yeah.
the giggling in the background, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you can always
okay,
hear the giggling. So it always happens when you know like a group of people are like about to like spend the night together or something,
yeah,
and you know that they're all together, and so you like can kind of expect it at that point. Dang, that
I
seems so
think
long ago.
our humor was the same thing. Like a lot of people, like when you look back on like vines and stuff, some of them aren't as funny as like they used to be.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it's like I don't know. It's crazy to see how things just evolve, regardless whether it's like humor or like content or something. Oh, speaking of evolving, this is something I wanted to bring up anyways. Do you see the new iCarly trailer? Or
I
not the
think,
trailer,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. I
theme
think
song.
so. Yeah. I think I saw the trailer. I don't think I saw the theme song.
The trailer looks great. The theme song, so good. I was never like a huge like avid iCarly watcher as a
Mhm.
kid.
Is it
Like I would
supposed
always
to be for kids still or no? In my
I
head, it doesn't seem like it is. Not like
no, I
kids,
and
it's
I
just
think
more
what they're doing with
10-25.
iCarly is really good. Um, they're basically targeting the kids that used to watch iCarly,
Oh, okay. Which
and they
are
just
usually
made it like
older,
a
yeah.
little bit mature. It's
You're
not going to be
right.
like rated R. It's like
No, yeah, for
it's
sure,
just
yeah.
not Nickelodeon. So it's like a
Right.
normal TV show, and I'm actually so excited for it because
It
they're
looks
going to
pretty
keep some of the
good.
same. It does. They're going to keep some of the same elements for sure,
Right.
but like it's going to be different, and like I feel like if you're going to reboot shoes, reboot shows, do
Yeah.
it like that because then you can like I have so much respect for the way they did the iCarly, and you're just gonna get so much respect for it
Yeah, I mean, because you've
for
seen
like
like
the way
other
you do it.
reboots and they just haven't been as.
No, it's the fact that you're catering to the same audience.
Right, yeah. Like they're doing like the Gossip Girl, like I think.
I saw that trailer.
Yeah. Does it look good? Like I never watched Gossip Girl, so.
I watched 4 seasons of Gossip Girl, and Gossip Girl was it was a show I watched to watch, but there
Hmm.
I could only put up with that for so long.
Right.
And it's like it's so drama filled. Like that's not the kind of shows I watch normally. So it was a lot. Um, it doesn't look bad. I will say that. I think
Yeah.
it just looks very like typical to what Gossip Girl originally looked like.
Yeah.
Um, I think the main characters. I think basically what they're doing is it's not like a reboot. It's like a not a continuation. It's kind of like Gossip Girl's back and like is like targeting like a new group of friends, like the elite of society,
Yeah, it
right?
reminds me of Pretty Little Liars. They did The Perfectionist, and that was like for like friends.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely different from like it didn't. I think who was it, like Allison from like Pretty Little Liars, like she was like in it as like a teacher, and like four students like were being like targeted and stuff like
Right. So it's
that.
like
It was
maybe
like
just set in like the future of like
right, yeah. It's just like it was just later in
so
the
I think
story
people are
kind of
like
thing.
the main characters like Blair and Serena and Maeve,
Yeah,
all of them could like still be in it.
right.
But I don't know. The cast seems cooler. Like I think it's maybe it's because like the old Gossip Girl cast is like so much older.
Right,
And
yeah.
these people are like more closer to our age, I'm assuming. They could also be like in their 30s and I wouldn't know because that's the
Yeah,
Hollywood
that's
like
true.
cast people.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what's whack to me? That in like One Tree Hill, when they started filming that show, the only person that was like a teenager that played a teenager was Nathan. And
Yeah.
even then, like he was 19 playing like a 17-year-old, and everyone else was like
I
21.
didn't realize like how much younger he was like compared to all of them.
I
Like,
didn't realize how big the age difference was between James Lafferty and Bethany Joy Lenz.
yeah.
I don't know her name. It took a couple years.
Right, yeah.
Also, lab.
It is. Did you see Outer Banks season 2 trailer? I was
I
meaning to text you
I
about it
didn't
because
watch the trailer.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I was waiting because I
I
wanted to figure
haven't seen the
I've been
trailer, but I will say this: I've seen the picture of a cop putting him
have
up
you seen
against
JJ
him.
in that? Oh my gosh. Yes, but I was, well, my main thing why I was like, wait, I wasn't even waiting like for the show really to drop. It was more like I was waiting for the date because I really been wanting to rewatch season 1 again because like I don't really feel like watching a new show, even though I
Should I try
am.
season one again?
So like now I know. Yeah, wait, let's do it together, please. I
I
want.
really didn't like it.
It's okay. The last like few episodes like kind of get intense, and it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's not like
I
really that
hate
good.
that about TV shows when people are like, because I remember a lot of people telling me about this about for The Office. Like, oh yeah, skip the entire first season, just watch the second
Oh
season.
yeah, people
No,
would say that
there's
about
a
it.
whole reason. Like, you start with number one, and if
Yeah.
number one sucks, then I'm not gonna watch the rest of it.
I mean, it's like I like didn't. For me, it wasn't that bad for me to watch it because I like watch. I that's
I think
normally
it's
my
partially
go-to
because
kind of
me and my
thing.
brother memed on it.
Yeah, just watch it just again and just watch it for fun. Like just think about like when it came out, we were all like seniors in high school and we were all like whatever we were like, I don't
You
know.
want to talk about something sad? The society not being renewed.
Yeah, I guess that is sad.
That's very sad. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I didn't finish it, so I don't know.
I think it was more upsetting that I finished it. The show leaves on like such a big cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
surprised honestly. I thought a lot of people liked it.
a lot of people did. It left on a cliffhanger, and it was renewed for season two.
Oh, it was?
Yes,
So they
the
canceled it
society
after?
they the society and I am not okay with this. We're both. I'm pretty sure I'm not okay with this, but as far as I know, they both were confirmed for season two by Netflix. Then, and this was confirmed like oh, I don't like maybe June of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up canceling it a couple months later because of like Netflix taking like COVID hits. But I guess they could bounce back and do the stupid Hype House TV show and not get back the shows that everyone else wanted.
But like if it's renewed, like how can they cancel? Like if they already, well, I don't really know how it works. But I thought like if it's renewed, that means that there's a for sure like season 2. But
I
then how
think
can
it
it get
did,
canceled
but it was
after?
like during like especially last summer, like
Mm-hmm.
things weren't like great, right? With
Right.
COVID and stuff. So production and stuff didn't start till like later. That's why like Stranger Things was like pushed and like all these
Mm-hmm.
production stuff, they were pushed until later. So I think
Right.
it was like renewed, but they weren't gonna start like filming it like until later.
Yeah.
But by the time like filming came around, they were like, we don't have like enough funds to like support you or something. So they had to like get rid of
Dang.
two shows. And now I don't know what happened at the end.
I guess we'll never know. Unless it gets picked up by someone else, that's possible.
I really hope it does, but I think the main issue is like if like one show get like if you have a season of like one show like on Netflix, right? And then it gets like dropped by Netflix, can like HBO Max go and pick it up?
Yeah, they can. Because there was some show. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but there was like, do you remember like when I was like in middle school, I was like reading like the selection series, like that book with
Mm-hmm.
the prince and whatever, and they were like making that into a show, and like I think Netflix originally like had the rights for it, and so
Mm-hmm.
then they like released it, but I think CW then picked it up and like made it into like a season or something, but it like
Mm-hmm.
never took off. I don't think like I don't know if there's anything past like an episode or two or something, but like I do know either CW had it, Netflix picked it up, or Netflix dropped it and CW picked it up. One of those two happened, but I do know there was an interaction between them. So like I think it is possible for like just someone to pick it up the show. So
But I don't think you would be able to
it's
like
complicated.
let's say Netflix dropped like the Society was dropped, right? So Netflix dropped the Society, and let's say HBO Max came to like pick up
Mm-hmm.
um the Society. I can't assume HBO Max being able to like do the Society the way Netflix had it because that's
Yeah,
like
it would have to be
because
like it'd be a little bit different. Like they can do it.
yeah, but that's upsetting
Yeah, like it's
because
not
then
gonna
it's
be
like
like the
off.
same. Like Netflix itself, like their production's different than like other people, so I guess it'd be different. I
Mhm.
think you see like trading and stuff like more within like things that are unreleased because a lot of times like a lot of book series that like I read, they were
Mhm.
gonna be TV shows, and a lot of time they got dropped and then picked up by someone else, and so there's always been like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a thing, but no, it's not. Oh wait, it is still gonna be a thing, but
Mhm.
with someone else, but and it you don't really know what's happening. So I guess you see it a lot for unreleased things, I think, compared to like
Yeah.
existing shows.
Can you believe that Percy Jackson, the show, will be out like somewhat soon? Not like
It's
soon,
soon.
soon. I would say in like the next couple of years it'll be out, right?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like
Not
in a
like
few months. I was
no
like
no no
next
no
year you
no
like I was like, really? It's gonna come out already?
no. I'm glad like it's gonna be like Rick. Oh, I never know how to pronounce his last name. Riordan. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Um, he's like taking initiative on it. I I think I've been in my head getting Dylan Minnette and Logan Lerman mixed up like all the time for some reason.
Yeah.
But standalone Percy Jackson movies, like if they weren't a book,
I
they
think
were
they
pretty
were
good.
good, like as movies, like ignoring like not comparing it to the book. I feel like as movies they were good. Like I like the movies.
As movies, they were good, but they were horrible adaptations. Do you think
Yeah.
Harry Potter as a TV show would be good? I don't know.
I don't know. I think like it works as movies. Like yeah, I mean there's a lot of detail in the book. I mean the books are long, so I feel like there's a lot more
How
you
do you
can
think they would
do with the
do
TV show.
Percy Jackson as a TV show? They're very similar, the both of them. Like you have a book for like a task.
That's true. It's like what, one season's supposed to be a whole book?
I don't know, maybe. That makes sense.
That's a lot of like yeah, the books are long and detailed, but for a whole season worth, I don't like there's gonna
Maybe
be
they're
a
not
lot of
like
new
24
things.
episode seasons, maybe they're like 10 episode seasons.
I
There's
think
all of
they'll
that.
probably be 10, I think. I don't think
Did you
24
watch
episode
Loki?
seasons are a thing anymore. No, not yet. I've been like
Good.
I've been wanting to, but I've also like not been wanting to because I'm like I don't want to wait for another episode. So it's like I'd rather just like chill. But I
Binge it all.
know if I'm on TikTok, like I don't want to binge it
I
all.
did that with WandaVision.
Yeah,
I binged WandaVision, like the first four, and then like the last, or the first five, and then the last couple episodes.
yeah,
But then when we did Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think they're both kind of like a vibe. I think WandaVision's a more bingeable show.
yeah,
I think Loki is like in between the bingeability of Falcon and Winter Soldier and
yeah.
WandaVision.
I don't
So I
really
don't
want to
think I'd be
binge
able to
Loki. It's
binge.
more like I like I know like toward the end like I'll want to like watch it more like as it comes out, but like it's like the
Mhm.
beginning and like I don't think like too much is happening. Like I like for WandaVision like I was like and about starting it. Not really about starting it. It was more just like, do I want to start it right now? Like I had a lot of stuff going on, so I like waited, and then I had COVID and
Yeah,
binged through like 5 episodes, and I was like, okay, let me like wait till then. And then like we watched Falcon Winter Soldier together, and that was fun.
I liked it. I like how different each of the shows are.
Yeah.
Because like WandaVision's very different than Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier is kind of like your more MCU-esque like
Right.
movie kind of thing, and Loki. I mean, I guess it's still like more like the movies more than like WandaVision, but
Yeah.
it is entertaining. I will say. Okay, so you know how Owen Wilson's in the movie, or not in the movie, in the show? Okay,
Who?
Owen Wilson is in the show, okay?
Okay.
And he's like a main character in the show.
Mhm.
But he's Jedediah from Night at the Museum.
Oh yeah. Yes.
But the entire time, like he was on screen because like him and Loki had like a bunch of scenes together. I was
Uh-huh.
like, this man is Lightning McQueen. Like he voices Lightning McQueen. So I'm like,
Oh
when did
yeah,
this
I
guy
remember when we were
catch
watching
how?
Night at the museum. You were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the guy who like voices Cars," and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah. I
Cars is
think
a good
Cars is such
movie.
a Cars is I think what I was so I haven't watched like but I haven't watched Cars in like a hot minute, but I remember really liking the concept of it. And kind of similar to that, me and my dad were talking about this like a couple days ago. Transformers as a concept slaps.
Yeah,
And the first movie, like the first Transformers movie, is honestly one of like the best movies I've watched.
it is a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I remember
And I
there was
think
like
it's
a
also because
period
the
I've
main
binged all of
character.
them.
I remember things. I don't remember Transformers 3. I didn't watch 5.
I think I
I think
watched
I
them, but I
watched
don't remember
4.
them really.
I think 4 is the one with Mark Wahlberg and Nicola something, the one who's
Yeah,
engaged to
yeah, yeah,
Brooklyn
yeah, yeah,
Beckham.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that fourth one.
I
It
think
was
it's
all
4.
right, but the first one is by far
I
like the
remember always
best.
being confused because in my head I always like thought like the same characters would be in like all the movies, and like
Yeah.
it changed, and I get because like we were younger when like those came out and stuff, and I was just like, oh, like where's this guy from the movie, and like whatever, and like it
Yeah.
was just like a new like storyline or whatever.
I was it was like on TV one day, so I had it pulled up and I was like just watching it. And like the first like I think good couple minutes of the movie, it looks like there's like the same filter that Outer Banks has. It looked like they had the
Yeah,
same filter for
I
the
thought I was
movie.
watching the wrong movie when I had it on. I texted you and I was like, Transformers is on, but this doesn't look like Transformers because I didn't remember the beginning, like desert or like and like I think
Yeah.
there's some war or something happening. They were
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah.
I didn't
The
remember
dude's
any
like
of that.
deployed.
Like, yeah, I didn't remember any of that like being a thing, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like,
But it's a good movie. I was
yeah.
watching like Bumblebee. Oh my God. Bumblebee. I was watching Bumblebee. I didn't get very far. I got like maybe
Hmm.
5 minutes in. But apparently Dylan O'Brien voices him.
I told you this
What?
so long ago, and you said no. I don't believe you. And then I was like, what do you mean? He does. And you were like, no, you're wrong. And I think you might have thought that I was talking about like the original movies, like the
He
Transformer
doesn't talk
movies.
in the original
That's
movies.
yeah, and you had this point, and I was like, I'm not talking about the original. I'm talking about the like I didn't remember if it was Bumblebee and there or like there's like a kids TV show Transformers that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember if it was that or if it was Bumblebee the movie. And then
Mm-hmm.
you were like, no, there's no way. And here you are, a long time later, saying the same thing.
No, I don't think he voices Bumblebee like in the Bumblebee movie with Haley Steinfeld. I think he only voices young Bumblebee. I don't think he voices like the older Bumblebee. So he
I
doesn't
don't
even have
know. I don't remember. I didn't watch the movie,
it's
so.
intriguing. Let's look this up.
But I told you this, I promise. And you literally hated on
I
me.
really just don't ever remember
You
having
were
this
literally like,
conversation.
no, there's no way.
He's the main guy? You like
I told
actually
you.
Bumblebee?
I
That's a
told you.
lie. Hmm.
I
Then how
mean,
come he's not in the cast?
To be fair, when I told you I didn't have any information whatsoever and I really was just saying things and you just didn't want to believe it, but I didn't have any backup to
Okay.
prove my
Oh,
point.
humans.
So it makes sense why.
Okay, Dylan O'Brien as Bumblebee B127, a young Autobot scout who transforms first into an advanced yellow Cybertronian car, then a yellow Willys MV Jeep, before switching for a rusty yellow 1967 Volkswagen Beetle, and then
I don't know what you're
Bumblebee
saying.
used
They're
to be
just
a
words.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Really?
I mean, I've apparently in
I remember thinking the cars in Transformers were really dope, but looking back at them, they really weren't. Like they were
what do
in
you
its own
mean? They were
way.
so
No,
cool.
no, no. Like, but like now, like the definition of cool cars are not those. You know,
They're
like
not sports
then,
cars. Well, I mean,
yeah, they were like I thought those
um,
were like sports cars, or like I thought they were like
I
like
thought Bumblebee looked
cars.
cool. It was the Camaro.
Yeah, they did look cool in general. I just in my head like I thought
Oh
those were like
no,
the
wasn't
big cars,
Bumblebee
but weren't.
in like actual Transformers? Didn't he turn into a Mustang? Am I
Yeah,
dumb?
at one point, because he
Like
just
he
copied the
was a
car.
Camaro and then he turned into a
He switched.
Mustang.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I'll rewatch the first movie.
You should watch Fast and Furious movies. I know you don't like
No,
them, but I really liked them.
no. I'm good.
I
That's
want
all
to watch
right.
the new one
Watch.
by myself.
I want to watch Quiet Place too. After watching Quiet Place.
Please, yes. I didn't think you wanted to when we were watching it. You were like, eh. You
I
just
don't.
seemed
I
very
think
uninterested.
that's because I was really struggling. But I think with Quiet Place, I had the misconception of like assuming that the movie was just like a silent film, but it's
No,
not.
yeah,
And like the movie is much better than I thought it was going to be, or much better than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
yeah,
But I did like, even though you guys said I didn't miss too much of the first, I still did miss it. So I probably want to
yeah. You
rewatch
missed like
that. I mean, I don't know if
2 minutes.
I'm actually going to watch A Quiet Place anytime soon, or the second one. No.
I really want to see The Conjuring 3. I think it came out.
Sure.
Um, I was just
I'll
reading
see
about
Black
this
Widow.
story.
I want to see Eternals.
Have you
I want
seen
to
the
see.
story? Have you heard the story about The Conjuring?
No, please tell me, what is
It's
it?
off. I'll tell you. It's a real. I know you're being sarcastic, but I'm gonna tell you.
You're
It's
not
like
being
a
sarcastic at
realistic
all.
trial. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, obviously you know that like they're based on like the true case files from like Ed, and I think her name is Lorraine. Is her name Lorraine?
I couldn't tell you.
What do you mean we watched it? Um,
Such a long time ago.
yeah, Ed and Lorraine. Yeah. So both it was like based off of their like case files that they had. So like they're all
Mm-hmm.
like they're based on like
So Ed and Lorraine are real people?
yeah.
Okay.
So they're all like events like that they experienced. So the third one is like about it's called like The Devil Made Me Do It, and it's about like a real court case that happened where this guy where it was like the first court case maybe in the US where like they the guy was said like not guilty based off of demonic possession.
Okay.
So he like what happened is like I think there's like a boy who was like possessed by a bunch of ghosts or something, like he was acting crazy, and so like they like went over to him, and like the first
Mm-hmm.
thing that happens like in like an exorcism, like they demand for like the person who's possessing like their name, because I think
Mm-hmm.
knowing their name like gives them power over it to like cast it
Mm-hmm.
out. So like they like ask for the name, and apparently there's like 40, 50 ghosts in the boy or something, and so so what happens is like this guy, I'm gonna see what his name was because now I'm curious. There's I don't know who the real oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's Arnie Cheyenne
Arnie.
Johnson.
Okay.
Cheyenne, yeah, looks. And so he basically they said or what
Wait, who
happened
was
is like
Arnie?
he's like I don't want to be wrong.
Always wrong.
Okay, somehow I'm just gonna kind of not say really detail, but like, so like
Just
somehow
make up the
Arnie
story.
was there. Yeah, the real Bay. Loki might be making this up, but I'm not. I'm trying to be as like real as like as right as possible. But so okay, so Arnie was there, I think, and they cast the
Who's
ghost.
Arnie?
He's a dude. Okay, I don't. He's just some dude. Okay, and
Okay.
he was there, I guess, at the exorcism. What happens is like when they try to cast the ghost, that didn't work. So like Arnie was like, I'll handle it or whatever." So all the ghosts like latched onto him because they're like, let me just move on. So
The
they moved
ghost
on.
just said, "Let me move." That's how
Yeah,
ghosts work. Okay.
and then, so they just latched on to Arnie, and so he was like getting possessed by these ghosts and whatever. And like
Okay.
after a few years, like it started like messing with his head, and then
Only after a few years.
it like really messed with him, and then he stabbed someone like really
Uh,
aggressively, like 5 times, and murdered someone. So
the
he
whole
got
thing is
charged.
already pretty aggressive. How do you stab aggressively?
There was this thing that I read, and this is kind of gross, and it was like that he
Yeah.
like stabbed into his like stomach and lifted it up or something. Like it was like something happened. Like they were like, I really wish I read into this before I started talking about it. Because I only heard it off of a video. Like I was just looking into it, and I just remember hearing like people talking about it. But like something like really
Yeah.
gruesome happened, apparently. And so like he like stabbed him, and so he got charged for like first-degree murder,
Mm-hmm.
and he like pled not guilty by demonic possession. And so he was supposed to be in prison for like 20 years and got out in 5 or something. But then like he got married and I guess lived. I don't know what happened to the demons, honestly. Maybe you should watch the movie. Maybe this is what I'm learning. But yeah, it
You're
was
really
like
selling the movie great.
it was the first court. It was like a big deal. Like it was like the thing is like people can say like they pledge like they believe in God. You know, okay, it was the whole thing was like people can say believe in the existence of God. Like why can't you believe in the existence of the devil as well? So that's why like they never allowed someone to say like not guilt, like demonic possession like wasn't a reason for anything, you
Oh,
know.
because people didn't
Yeah, they didn't want to like they didn't want to believe in the idea of the devil, I guess, is like, you know.
Okay.
And so that's why it's like a big deal when people were like, oh, like he said not guilty because of a demonic possession. So it was a big deal. I don't know why it was a big deal. That's what I'm telling you.
That's all I've understood. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it was like the big trial here, you know? It sets some
No,
things.
but okay.
Okay, continue with what you were saying.
I had nothing to say. You were like, let me tell The
You were
Conjuring.
talking about some movie and then I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I don't remember what I was talking about.
Do we move on to
But
our segment?
let me tackle about The Conjuring. I don't know anything about The Conjuring.
We
Okay.
watched it.
No, no, no. You were like, let's talk about the plot of The Conjuring 3. There's this dude. I don't know what he does. I don't know how he's relevant.
He is relevant because he went to jail. And
Everyone in jail is relevant for Conjuring.
no, that's not why he's relevant. Like, it's a relevant story because he pled guilty because of the
What?
demonic possession. That was like a big phrase. It's like in the trailer. It was like, I don't remember.
You heard a phrase and you ran with it, and now you're trying to explain it.
I did hear the phrase. And it was a big thing. And it was like, you know, like a important part of
Sure.
society.
Oh, society.
I don't really remember.
Evidently.
It's okay. Everyone go watch it.
You getting paid to do this? Is this a sponsor?
Yeah, it is. Facts. Have you ever had any like ghost stories? Like, did you have ever have any like I don't know, like wild
I don't
stories?
I don't think there's ever been a story like an
Not
experience.
like a bad one necessarily. Like it could be like a good thing.
I I don't think I've ever experienced like or have been in an event or a situation where I haven't found like a scientific or like logical reasoning for it. Like nothing's ever been like unexplained.
So
you
like
know?
nothing like scary. Not even scary. Like
Like
some people
it
have
could
like
be
comforting
scary.
stories.
It can be scary, but it's been like it's explainable.
Yeah.
You know, like in third grade, not in third grade, in elementary school, one of the bus windows would never stay. I mean, this is like a horrible example,
Hmm.
but one of the bus windows would never stay up, like would
Yeah.
always fall down. And we told all the younger kids, I was in fifth grade, and a bunch of my other fifth grade friends. I don't know if I already talked about this, but a bunch of my fifth
I
grade
think we
friends,
did when we were talking about
yeah,
my ghost experience.
um, we convinced all the younger kids that it was a ghost, like pulling the
Hmm.
window down, and
Right.
that seat was haunted. But like in actuality, it's just a faulty window, you know, like
Yeah, right.
so stuff like that. Nothing like ooh, you know,
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I
good
really
or
had
bad.
any encounters
I'm not
like
saying I don't
nothing.
believe in it.
Yeah.
Like in clouds, when they were all taking the picture and then they saw like the Z in the clouds.
Hmm.
I could get behind like that being like Zach's spirit, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I have a scenario for you.
Oh goodness.
Okay, so imagine, okay, so we've been friends for like, a good, like basically our entire lives, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, okay, so say we were living together, okay, and so you're rooming
Hmm.
with me, and like all my stuff is in like my room, and like your stuff's in your room, and like we're living together. And then one morning you wake up, and like all my stuff is gone. And it's like I never even existed,
Okay.
okay? And like you
Okay.
remember your interactions with me from the past like 18 years,
Uh-huh.
but you ask anyone else, they have no like like I like basically wiped from existence, and like no
A
one
bit
else.
like Styles in season 6.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So imagine that, and like no one can remember anything about me, and it's like you like
Yeah.
don't really have an explanation or anything. Like, what would your first reaction? Like, what would you do in that scenario?
Hmm. I wake up and none of your stuff is there.
Yeah, like you were literally talking
I
to me there
think I
before.
I think my first instinct was like if none of your stuff is there, I'd call you. But
Yeah,
obviously you wouldn't pick up, right?
right. Yeah.
I would probably call your parents then
Hmm.
and be like, so if you don't exist, do they exist?
Sure. Yeah, they exist with my sister, I guess. Like my sister is their
Okay.
kid, but like I'm not
Are
there.
you replaced or you just don't exist? So like your
I just
sister's
don't
an
exist.
only
I'm just
child.
gone all of a sudden. Like
Okay.
there were two, like it's me and my sister, right? So it's like there were
Hmm.
two people, like two like kids in the family, and now there's just one.
Um, I would probably like call your parents and then
Hmm.
talk to your sister and your family and be like, yo, can I have
Yeah,
another kid?
but you're the only one who can remember anything about me. Like they have no recollection. Like you're the only one.
Right. So
So
after that, I'd probably be like, okay, she put me in this situation a while ago on the podcast. What do I do now? And I think what I would do, seeing as like I might try and get in contact with like a mad scientist kind of person, you know,
really, yeah,
and be like, hey, yo, dog, this is what's happening.
yeah,
And like explain the situation to him
hmm,
or her or them, like whoever it is.
yeah,
Um, and the thing is, they have to be someone that's like willing to listen to me, right? Because I don't
yeah,
want it to be like a public thing. I just want like, this is happening. How do I fix it?
right,
But like, probably like, other than that, I'd probably just. So if you're gone, are like all our pictures gone?
yeah. Like what pictures you thought like we were both in together are suddenly like
Then I
just
got a
you.
picture of us, and if it's just
It's
me in
just
the picture,
you.
that's so awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's just you all of a sudden. Like,
I think other than that, I'd probably just like write down like if I ever had like a memory, just like keep writing them
yeah.
down.
Would you ever like believe like you're crazy? Like, would you go to like a therapist, like check yourself in a psych ward? Like, would is that like your first reaction? Like, would it be like I lost it kind of thing, or you don't you think you're
I
still like,
I can't see myself thinking it like that
yeah,
because I do consider myself a pretty creative person,
Yeah.
but imagining having such vivid memories of 18 years of friendship, like I wouldn't be able to, like, my brain's
Right.
too smooth for that. Like I can't do that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think my best bet is probably find like some kind of scientist who's like, I don't know, time travel or something.
Hmm.
So I don't know what other kind of science this would be.
Right.
I mean, it's not time traveling, but there's probably someone out there trying to work on time traveling.
Yeah.
And then probably I might like talk to like our mutual friends,
Yeah.
or like explain to my parents. And by that, I may like my parents would be like, oh, you're kind of, where
Yeah.
can you go? That kind of thing.
Right.
But I think like for my personal stuff, it's like I know there's nothing else I can do, so I just like will keep like a memory.
Right.
So it's like at least like I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
remember you.
No, yeah. I mean, there isn't really much you could do. I don't know. I feel like I like if like you were gone, like my like after like realizing like I'm the only one like you like remembers you and stuff. Like I would literally think I'd be crazy. Like I'd be like,
I thought about that. I was like, yeah, but then I was like, how do I capitalize off this? This is such a horrible way of thinking. But it's like,
yeah,
okay, what if I just like made it into a book or like a
yeah,
movie or something? So that way it's like in that form of media, it's still
right,
like you would exist.
right, yeah.
But then I'm
I
like thinking
guess
about it, I
so.
was like, that's already happened in a movie. Like the one movie, Yesterday or Tomorrow or whatever it was called. The dude, the main character. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like this
No.
movie idea, like this was a movie. He wakes up one day, I think. He's like,
Uh,
and he is the only one that knows the Beatles.
the Beatles.
Like
Oh,
the
the band.
band.
Okay, yeah.
Like it was like he woke up one morning and like the Beatles just never existed. But he knew them. So what he did was like and he was a really big fan of them. So he just like made all their songs and released it as his own because no one else was gonna
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"Yo,
Right.
these are the Beatles songs," because the Beatles never existed. At least I think that's what the plot is.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie,
Smart,
but
honestly.
don't think so. It's like
Yeah.
you may be gone, but I'll make money. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
I'm glad I can help.
posts or whatever that are like, would you shoot like your best friend for like $1 million or whatever?
Yeah.
Not like like
Yeah. Shoot your
let's do
foot
something
or
less
something.
extreme.
I've seen
Yeah,
like,
like shoot
yeah.
your.
Sorry,
But it's
I did
not
it to
like
you.
no. Here's the thing: you do it to me, I do it to you. $2 million between us,
Yeah. That's bank.
and like hospital bills aren't going to be $2 million.
Right.
Actually, in this
We'll
country it is. But
survive. Maybe a toe gone. He'll be fine.
do you imagine not having a toe?
Yeah. Toes are weird. I will say. I don't vibe with them.
Would you rather have no toes?
Maybe if that was the norm.
Okay, let's say. Let me put the situation back onto you. You wake up, I'm not there. What do you do?
Okay, you're not there. I probably asked my sister if she remembers anything about you
Yeah.
because she'd remember you, but you wouldn't know. I guess I'd call your parents, but I can't like they wouldn't know, and like your brother, like I don't know, I
Right.
don't want to talk to them as much, so it's like I'd like just like
I don't either, but it's like
right, but it's
sounds
just
like another kid, right?
yeah. Be like, oh, like where are you? And then they'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I probably would. I honestly feel like I'd be going to therapy or something. Like I feel like I would totally think like I lost my mind. Like I don't know. I don't think I'd like do anything. Like what can I do? I can't do anything. I'd like look into
I
it.
think I'm like thinking about it more and more, and like let's say I wake up tomorrow and you never existed. I, I think I wouldn't be as freaked out because we just had this conversation.
That's
If
true.
I
Yeah.
if I woke up this morning and you never exist, I think I'd be a little more freaked out. But since we've
Yeah.
had this conversation,
Yeah. So next time, if I do end up going somewhere, now you
oh,
know.
just disappearing off the face of the earth.
Yeah, you know what to do.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, hire your mad scientist or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have a game plan. I feel like I literally would just be like, I don't know, like I would think I'm crazy. I'd like go see someone. They probably couldn't help me because
But the thing is, it's like you just never existed. I'm like, all right, I have no best friend now.
yeah, and now what? You gonna make a new one.
Ooh, maybe I get a tattoo.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I want a tattoo. I
I don't know. I'm too. I was talking. I was having this mental conversation with myself
yeah.
about it's like I. I think this was a really eye-opening shower I had.
Mhm.
I think like commitment to anything is terrifying,
Yeah.
no matter how big or how small. And I mean that like I don't use stickers because that's too big of a commitment. Like I put
Yeah.
it down and then like I can't pick it, it's like stuck there, right?
Yeah.
And I was also thinking about this in like the terms of like merch, like famous people like merch, like singers or whatever, or like YouTubers or whatever, whatever. Like I would
Mhm.
never buy merch
Yeah.
because that's a commitment to them.
Right.
And that makes it a bit like
Mhm.
personal, I guess. And the
Right.
thing with tattoos is like I'm not saying it's like I wouldn't want to make that like commitment to you. It's just
Mhm.
you can reflect on the past and act in the present, but acting in the present doesn't guarantee future.
Yeah. That's true.
And that commitment is like
Yeah.
kind of scary.
I feel like when I like get a tattoo, like it
Mhm.
depends on like how big they are, obviously, but like a small tattoo, like I want, like I feel like I might get tired of seeing like the same thing, I guess, like after
Right.
a while. So it's like I kind of hope like whatever tattoo I get like has like not necessarily like multiple meanings, but I like know like somehow know that I'm
This is
okay
why you
with it
get
for
it
the
somewhere
rest of
you
my
can't
life.
see it.
Yeah, I mean all the ones I want are like ankle or like on my finger, or, like
Oh, I was
nothing.
thinking like your back.
Yeah, people can see your back.
You can't though.
Oh, oh, I see what you're saying.
Or
Kind
like
of
the back
genius.
side of your
Yeah,
arm.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like harder to see.
You know, like people who get like tattoos of like whoever they married or something. Like that's scary. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, people get their initials all the time. Like, and I'm like,
I mean,
what?
marriage, it's like even marriage, like getting your significant others, like
Yeah,
when you're married, like your spouse on you is kind of scary, like scary in itself.
yeah.
But some people do it while they're dating, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, like
it
yeah, you can
doesn't
be so in
necessarily
love
work
and
out.
everything, and like good for you, but it's like there's no going back. I mean, you can take it
Yeah.
off, but like that's like more painful to get it off.
When you get it, like, when you get it removed, it's not like back to like normal skin, right? Like it's not like
Yeah, I think it's not like back to the way it was for sure.
it's
I
not.
think there's like a little
Yeah,
bit of a mark kind of thing. But I think they like do their best, I guess, to like kind of get rid of like so you can't see it as clearly.
I
But like
guess.
it's like I think it's like a multiple session thing. Like it's not like a one and done. I think you have to go back.
I can't imagine that being good for your skin.
It's
Like
probably
I don't know
isn't.
how it
Even
works,
in
but
tattoos, I don't think it's necessarily good for your skin. Like it's like permanent ink on your skin. Like people
I don't think they're that
break
bad
out.
though. Like I think not that these are like tattoos, but like henna, like white henna is really bad for you. Or not, I don't know if it's
But
white
why is
henna.
it that bad? Like what's so different about it that makes it
I
that
don't know if
bad for
it's
you where like
white.
henna isn't?
Uh, I think henna's just like all natural, right?
Yeah.
But white henna, for it to stain white, I think you have to put like other chemicals in it.
Oh, and that's bad for your
So
skin.
that's bad. But it's also like I think it's glow in the dark tattoos, which are not necessarily good for you.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you like this episode, please give us a follow. And we'll see you all next week with another episode. Bye.